Hey everybody, today we will be making some braised chili beef, which we'll serve over some Texas polenta. And the ingredients and amounts will be in the description below as always, so let's get started. So I have here some beef chuck, and we're gonna cut this into about 1-inch pieces. So it kind of naturally separates in a few places. So it's kind of nice to use that to your advantage. One to 2-inch pieces, about like that. Okay, so we have our beef cut up, and then we are going to season it. So while it's all on the cutting board right here, you can just sort of arrange it in an even layer and sprinkle from above. Some salt, pretty generous with that. Some black pepper. And then you can just kind of toss it all together. There we have our seasoned beef ready to be seared. I forgot to mention earlier, we're gonna do this in a pressure cooker. So it's gonna go way faster this way. And if you don't have a pressure cooker, I will tell you what to do instead. You can make the same dish, it will just take a little bit longer. So I've got my pan nice and hot, and in a couple batches, we are gonna brown our meat. So I'm just gonna use my hands. Kind of the best tool you got sometimes. Okay, this batch I can tell is sufficiently browned, so we will remove it to a plate, and we will continue this until we've done it with all of our beef. Okay, we can, while our beef is searing, or you can do this earlier if you're smart, prep our other ingredients. So we have one pretty large onion, which we will dice. And then we've got 3 cloves of garlic, which I have peeled already. And we'll chop this up. When you're doing your garlic, slice it up like that, then put a sprinkle of salt, and that will help it not stick to the knife so much. And then you can just kind of run your knife through it like this. It's all just gonna get, annihilated in a slow braise, so it does not need to be perfect. So then you've got your onions and your garlic ready over here. Next, we need one of those cans of chipotle chilies in adobo. And I've got about 2 of them, along with a little bit of the sauce, which I've removed from the can. You should be able to find them in most supermarkets these days. Got those. We're gonna chop those up. You're just gonna kind of hack at it. Mince it up. Okay, next, I think it's a smart idea to go ahead and measure out all of our spices, and you can put them all in the same bowl because they're going in all at the same time. So first, we're gonna do some ancho chili ground. Then we'll do some guajillo chili, also ground. And we will do some smoked paprika and some cumin, some cinnamon. This is more traditional than you would think actually. And we're just using a little bit, but it really does something nice for this chili. Cinnamon is not always used for sweet things. Some oregano, some pasilla chili, some black pepper. And then of course, salt. That's a couple teaspoons of salt, kosher salt. Let's see how that is, and then we'll add more later if we need to. Okay, we are ready to kind of start cooking the rest of this. So let's go back to our pan. Okay, as you can see, we have a nice fond built up in the bottom of the pan. That's all those brown bits. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to my pan so it's not dry, and crank the heat back up to a little over medium. And we're gonna add our onions and garlic, and we are gonna cook those until they've browned a little bit and they've softened. So as these are cooking, you wanna kind of stir and scrape the fond off the bottom of the pan. That is the secret to good cooking, that's flavor. Okay, these onions are just about done, starting to get a little bit of color. We're gonna add at this point about a teaspoon of flour. And that's gonna thicken up our chili a little bit. And just kind of stir that in. Also, all those spices from earlier that we measured out, stir those in, stir them around, and we're just gonna do this for about like 30 seconds. We just want to toast them a little bit. And so at this point, all of that beef from earlier, we will add that in along with resting juices. And we will add in 1 can of those diced tomatoes and green chilies. And then in that same can, fill it up with beef stock, 1 can's worth, and dump that in. We can add our chipotle chilies, which we minced up earlier. And then we're gonna kind of just stir everything to combine it. So I'm gonna put the lid on, set it to high pressure, turn the heat up. And okay, I just reached full pressure on my pressure cooker. It took about 2 minutes. So I'm gonna back the heat down now to kind of low, medium low, and set my timer for 50 minutes. Like I said. Now, if you don't have a fancy pressure cooker like me, don't worry, you can make this another way. You could do this a couple ways. One is you could put your ingredients in a Dutch oven and put the lid on, and then just stick the whole thing in your oven at about 300 degrees and cook it probably about 3 hours until your beef is as tender as you like it. Or you could cook it on the stove top, bring it up to a simmer, put a lid on, reduce it down to kind of medium-low heat, and again, cook it for about 3 hours until the beef is as tender as you like it to be. So I'm gonna check back on this after 50 minutes when my timer goes off, and we will see how it is. All right, we're gonna prepare some blistered tomatoes for a garnish to our chili. So I have a cast iron pan that I've gotten nice and hot. We're gonna put some of these, just like a handful of those cherry tomatoes in our pan, just totally whole like that, and just let them sit there for a few minutes, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I think we are about done here. Give these a little bit of shape. Oh yeah, perfect. So I'm gonna take these out. Put them in a little bowl. They look great. Set them aside, and we will let our chili continue cooking. All right, it's been 50 minutes. My timer went off. I depressurized, so now we get to remove the lid and see how it looks. Should be done. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. It looks pretty tasty. Let me see how tender the beef got over the course of that amount of time. And literally, like, with a spoon, I can pull it apart. So it'll still hold its shape, but it's literally so tender that I can pull it with a spoon. So that's pretty nice. So let me taste it. It's probably super, super hot. That's okay. I'll just burn myself. It's delicious. I really taste all those spices we added. It just tastes like really good chili. The only thing it needs is, let's say, some more salt. So add some salt, stir that in, and then we will be ready to plate it up. All right, I wasn't exactly sure how to plate it. It kind of looks like it's trying really hard, but I'm sure it's gonna taste good. Also, I have a secret for you. Texas polenta is just jalapeno cheddar grits, because grits and polenta are basically the same thing. So I thought it would be good for that. So let's give it a try. See how it is. Super tender, comes right apart. It's delicious. I like it. You should give it a try. You don't have to try so hard to make yours look, nice like I did mine. Hope you try it. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I'm gonna eat this. Bye.